Okay, what's our destination?
The Nebula.
So now, on Nebula, we're going to do the same thing as in already is to go to Southwestern, turn off your controller, and then as the cutscene begins, go to options and change to hard. Now you'll probably have to upgrade something here on Gadget on Vendor, depending on the route. On Predator route, you won't have to upgrade anything, but for Fusion Grenades and Pyroster you will. But I will cover that one. So I'll first kind of show the entire Nebula on with Predator route, because we're actually going to obtain the Predator launcher very soon. And as we go to out of bounds, I'm going to show you both risky method and the safe method. So here you need to press triangle and options pretty much at the same time, because if you press triangle there will be a small black screen and then the cutscene will begin. You'll be able to open the menu when that cutscene begins. So to do it optimally, press options and triangle at the same time. Go to options and change difficulty. If you're going for the same method, change it to normal. But if you're going for the risky method, then change it to casual. I just change it to casual right now because I want to demonstrate both methods. So this part is pretty straightforward, just keep long jumping until you... If there is maybe someone in the way, kind of try to range cancel past them, because there's a high possibility you'll bump into them and they'll kick you or something. Also make sure to get rotating here, and here are some enemies, so you just kind of want to hyper strike them and just kind of do that until you kill them, and then you just kind of want to get the Predator here. But first things first, when you pick up the Predator, there will be like a 40 seconds timer to complete the entire auto bounce and get to the cutscene. So first, I'm actually going to demonstrate the entire thing. So here, to go out bounce, you first want to high jump there, and then you want to kind of high jump up and just kind of hold right, so that Ratchet kind of ends up gliding up. Sometimes, if you get into the correct position, you'll just kind of get a fast clip and Ratchet will clip instantly. Also, one thing worth noting is that as you're kind of going out of bounds and as you're about to clip, kind of mash X, because if you don't, there's a possibility that you'll actually fall down here. So just jump over here and keep long jumping. Then double jump over here and then just keep long jumping again until you... Also, sometimes if you just high jump by accident, it's good to actually hyper strike. And when you come kinda near the end of this invisible platform, which is maybe like there, like you can't really see it, but you just kinda have to get a feel of it. Kinda do a range cancel high jump to get here. Then you should do a range cancel double jump, and then do a range cancel high jump again to get up here. Now, for the safe strat, you first need to go to Railguard and get a trespasser and do the stuff. Like you have to watch like the Railguard part of the tutorial first. But if you do that, like if you're doing the safe method, you have to go to Railguard first, and then you have to go here. Well, like you go here if you're actually doing the risky method. So if you do that, you'll be like on normal difficulty already, then on casual for actually... Never mind what I said earlier about the difficulties, because you'll go to Railguard, like in the first place, you'll kinda be on casual on Railguard, and then when you come back, you'll be on normal difficulty here, and you'll be casual no matter which method you do. But yeah, if you're doing the safe strat, I jump over here, and just high jump over here, and kind of fall down here and hit this checkpoint. So actually, you will need to be like on normal difficulty here. So meaning that once you come back from Iridia, you will actually have to switch the difficulty to hard or normal. And then once you're about to kind of hit the cutscene and skip the difficulty to enter like the second area where the Predator is, you just kind of have to switch either from normal to hard or from hard to normal. Yeah, I'm just kind of going to switch to normal here and then back to casual. But this is the safe strat, so kinda have to push these two buttons. And then you just kinda have to not get hit here. But yeah, kinda two range cancel high jump here to get in kinda on this button. Then can kinda you need to double jump over here, then do a high jump to get up here, then high jump over to like here, and then this long jump. And you will use the Trespasser puzzle here, and yeah, that's pretty much it. You will have Predator at this point, but we won't upgrade like the Predator launcher until gas bar. And then you can just kind of get in by the boss and do all the stuff. Now I'm going to show off the risky method. So now for the risky method is basically to just kind of long jump over here. You'll just land up. If you kind of end up gliding here, just kind of mash X until you kind of get here. After that, just kind of double jump here, long jump, and you should long jump somewhere like here, and then just kind of stick like to the wall while floating because you need to hit the cutscene. I didn't demonstrate it now because then I would have to load another save file and do all the things all over again. But now I'm actually going to get the Predator, activate the timer, and show you the strat. Yeah, get the routine in here if you didn't. Then just kinda hyper strike a couple times to kill these guys. And then just take the Predator. Now, the problem with this strat is that you only have 40 seconds to perform everything, and if you don't, you'll just kinda respawn all the way back. Also, there is a bug that if the timer expires, and you hit the cutscene for the boss fight at the same time, the game will just glitch out and like the top and the bottom of the screen will just kind of be black, and the only way to fix that is to restart the game, which can be a bit problematic for non-capture card users. But yeah, I actually got a fast flip when I just went out of bounds, so yeah, if anyone's curious how fast flip looks like, pretty much that's how it looks like. And now, as you hit the cutscene, just kinda try to fire off some Predator ammo as much as you can, and as you skip the cutscene, you'll be here. There will be no timer. Now, for the Snaggle Beast boss fight, you kind of wanna kind of fire free at the time, because if you fire 2 or 1, you'll kind of wait for a while for more of these Predators to kind of appear. So, but you want to fire like all of them, and then pick up the crates, and then fire off, and then just kind of jump into lava and die. Only kind of, you have to do it twice. So now, when you do it, you'll actually be on level 2, so it doesn't really matter that much. But yeah, you'll just kind of be on level 2 right now. And after you fire off, you're going to hit the same crate again to get even more ammo. And then you're going to die again, because after finishing this boss fight, you shouldn't be on exactly 3 Predators. Actually, you don't need to hit like the same crate, but like you can hit that one I just hit to get even more XP. So yeah, just kind of fire off everything and die. And after that, you can just fight the boss now and just kind of keep firing off everything, pick the crates, and etc. etc. Also, when Snaggle Beast is like kinda up, you just kinda want to hit small enemies sometimes to get some extra XP. So yeah, these are like one of the crates in the area, which will actually give you kinda 2 times the ammo. And you also have one here. I just kind of lost this Snaggle Beast, but you can actually hit him while he's up. And if you like get his HP to like 30 or like below 40%, I think he'll go up again. or it's actually gold 35, but it doesn't really matter. So while it's up, and if you are out of ammo, just kind of go around and take some, and then just kind of take him from below. But yeah, it is actually very important to be on level 3 for gas bomb. And yeah, that's it, level 3. And so this is that. So now all you have to do is just kind of long jump until you get here, and this is an unskippable cutscene that's like 3 seconds long and there's literally nothing you can do about it. So yeah, you can kind of around, well, maybe 40 seconds to just enjoy, I guess.
I've always wanted one of those. If you can get one, Alaris can build a few more for the Rangers.
And once this cutscene is done, there is a safe way of doing a certain gas bar skip, and there is also well, there is a risky and there is the safe way. Safe way is to go into your options and change difficulty normal, and if you're doing the normal method, you just kind of want to long jump until the ship. But yeah, I always do the safe strat because the skip you're gonna do in gas bar is pretty difficult. It requires some damage boosting, and if you change the difficulty to normal now, and you'll have to turn off your controller for gas bar to be on casual, that means that you'll actually have 8 chances of doing that trick, while if you're on normal difficulty, you'll only have like 4 attempts, I believe. But pretty much you have more attempts because you lose less health on gas bar if you're on casual, of course. So now in the fusion route, you just kind of want to wrench cancel as the longest chance, and you're gonna go and we're gonna get ourselves some upgrades. Here we have some impact damage, so we're gonna take hold of these, and then we're actually going to complete this circle here to get this frictionless hooper upgrade, which kind of makes the fire rate a bit faster. So, and after that you just kind of want to keep long jumping towards here, and you want to press triangle and options at the same time pretty much. So you will kind of be able to open the menu even before the cutscene ends and before the cutscene starts, and you'll be able to skip difficulty even more quickly. So we want to go on for casual difficulty here, and once you enter this area, just kind of keep long jumping until you can approach 2 enemies here, kind of throw a couple of fusion grenades at them, and after that do a range against high jump and get up there, and then do another high jump and get up here. So now we're out of bounds and we're just gonna keep long jumping. And here where we do our double jump, and then keep long jumping again. You have to time this dose a bit, because if you time one of your long jumps incorrectly, you'll actually kind of hit this a bit and it will kind of slow you down and you'll end up kind of falling down here. But you can kind of always get out, but yeah. But if that happens, it's a very unfortunate time loss. So go, wrench cancel high jump here, double jump here. You can also do a wrench cancel lower jump there. Yeah, you can then you can kind of. So after that, you high jump over here, and then long jump towards the right, double jump up, and then we'll jump here to hit the cutscene. And this fight is actually pretty straightforward. You just kind of want to spam this negative 50 grenades. But if you compare this fight to Pyroster fight, Pyroster is probably does this fight like the fastest. While Predator is also pretty fast, like it's faster than the Fusion, well, like Fusion Bomb route, but still lose time to Pyroster, and the Fusion Bomb still saves time to compare to Predator, because in Predator you have to die twice. But yeah, fighting Snaggle Beast with Fusion Bombs is probably the most painful way to do it. But pretty much the entire game up to this point, when you compare Pyroster and Fusion Grenade rounds, are pretty much the same. Like, the only difference is pretty much the fact that Pyroster is faster in some boss fights, but Fusion Grenade is actually going to save us some time on Battalion. So if you, for example, have like a bit of HP, just kind of hyper strike this Snaggle Beast a couple times until you get it to 33%, because then it will go up. So yeah, it's kind of better to just hyper strike it a couple times than just go and collect some Fusion Grenades around the...
Jim, let's boost the neurotransmitters and see if we can add a few IQ points to this dimwit.
But yeah, be sure to always get some ammo like mid-cycle. And then you just kind of want to fire off a couple grenades when it comes down, and you should be on level 3 like near the end of this fight. And yeah, that's pretty much the entire fight for this entire round. So yeah, now I'm going to move on to Pyroster round.
You did? But that's impressive.
Hey, I bet the Rangers could use jet.
Now for Pyroster route, you're also going to access the Gadgetron vendor, and we're also going to do some upgrades here. So your upgrade should look like this until now, and then you're just going to use the rest of your team to get all these. But if you actually don't have enough Titanium for this, then don't worry, it's not that important. But yeah, it's kind of a bit better to kind of get it earlier than later. So after that, pretty much the entire auto bounce is the same as the Fusion Grenade route. So in Snaggle Beast boss fight, it's also pretty straightforward, just like the Fusion Grenade rounds. So you just kind of fire at Snaggle Beast, and then when it's up, you just kind of go around the arena and pick up the game. For Pyroster route, the only difference is that the Snaggle Beast is going to keep doing this attack, or it kind of slams the hands, or whatever you want to fucking call it. But you're just gonna stand close to it because it's a Pyroster and a Fusion Grenade, and then you just kind of double jump to the back whenever you can. Also, you can kind of attack the enemies that are like in the arena aside from the Snaggle Beast, because you can get some extra XP just before you end the fight, so you will go to level 3, and will kind of make the fight a bit faster because all 3 deals more damage with the Snaggle Beast.
Jim, let's boost the neurotransmitters and see if we can add a few IQ points to this dimwit. Okay, we got it back under control. Let's keep it that way.
And that's about it for the entire fight. The rest of Nebula is pretty much the same as every other route, so yeah, let's move on to Gasper now.
Impressive.